armed with box cutters directed by a man on dialysis in a cave fortress halfway around the world using a satellite phone and a laptop directed the most sophisticated
The Halo laptop is unreal. What a throwback, sorry.
penetration of the most heavily defended airspace in the world, overpowering the passengers and the military combat-trained pilots on 4 commercial aircraft before flying those planes wildly off course for over an hour without being molested by a single fighter interceptor. These 19 hijackers, devout religious fundamentalists who like to drink alcohol, snort cocaine, and live with pink-haired strippers, managed
Don't we all?
to knock down 3 buildings with 2 planes in New York, while in Washington a pilot who couldn't handle a single-engine Cessna was able to fly a 757 in an 8,000-foot descending 270-degree corkscrew turn to come exactly level with the ground, hitting the Pentagon in the budget.
And there's no footage of it. The only footage that they have of this shows literally nothing, just an explosion. You can't see a shred of plane. They say it's moving too fast for the frames to pick it up. Okay, maybe that's so. It's 2001. Maybe that's so. Where is any of the damage from the plane? Where is it? There's none, and there's never been any removed from the site. They didn't record any teams removing anything from the site. Not a single shred of evidence or a camera that captured any debris. I don't know.
The analyst office where DoD staffers were working on the mystery of the $2.3 trillion that Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld had announced missing from the Pentagon's coffers in a press conference the day before, on September 10th.
So you're telling me on September 10th, literally the day before, we have a press conference announcing that $2.3 trillion are missing, and the very next day, the office that's responsible for doing that accounting blows up? Okay.
2001. Luckily, the news anchors knew who did it within minutes.
Osama bin Laden.
The pundits knew within hours.
Osama bin Laden.
The administration knew within the day.
Terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbor them.
And the evidence literally fell into the FBI's lap.
That a hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site, if you can believe that.
But for some reason, a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists demanded an investigation into the greatest attack on American soil in history. That investigation was delayed, underfunded, set up to fail, a conflict of interest, and a cover-up from start to finish. It was based on testimony extracted through torture, the records of which were destroyed. It failed to mention the existence of WTC-7, Able Danger, P-Tech,
WTC-7, how do you not mention the building blocks away from the World Trade Center, from the towers, that completely fell freeform or free fell from the sky, from the ground. You can see in the little gift here. What's that? They said the official report is there was a fire in the basement. How did a fire in the basement cause the building to free fall? Logically, it's not, I don't get it.
Sibel Edmonds, OBL and the CIA, and the drills of hijacked aircraft being flown into buildings that were being simulated at the precise same time that those events were actually happening. It was lied to by the Pentagon, the CIA, the Bush administration, and as for Bush and Cheney, well, no one knows what they told it because they testified in secret, off the record, not under oath, and behind closed doors.
In secret, off the record, not under oath, behind closed doors. What the hell is that? What? Oh, okay.
It didn't bother to look at who funded the attacks because that question is ultimately of little practical significance. Still,
drink my juice.
The 9/11 Commission did brilliantly answering all of the questions the public had, except most of the victims' family members' questions, and pinned blame on all the people responsible, although no one so much as lost their job, determining the attacks were
failure of imagination.
Because
Nobody in our government, at least, and I don't think the prior government that could envision flying airplanes into buildings.
Except the Pentagon, FEMA, NORAD, and the NRO.
Yeah, there's also a great documentary called Fahrenheit 9/11, and it goes over how these reports were put out and given to Bush months, and in some scenarios years or a year and a half before these attacks, potential threats. And this was literally listed as a potential threat, as planes flying into towers, planes being hijacked. So back at you, Bush.
The DIA destroyed 2.5 terabytes of data on Able Danger, but that's okay because it probably wasn't important.
Probably not.
The SEC destroyed their records on the investigation into the insider trading before the attacks, but that's okay because destroying the records of the largest investigation in SEC history is just part of routine record keeping.
Yeah.
NIST has classified the data that they used for their model of WTC7's collapse, but that's okay because knowing how they made their model of the collapse would jeopardize public safety.
Makes sense.
The FBI has argued that all material related to their investigation of 9/11 should be kept secret from the public, but that's okay because the FBI probably has nothing to hide. This man never existed, nor is anything he had to say worthy of your attention, and if you say otherwise, you are a paranoid conspiracy theorist and deserve to be shunned by all of humanity. Likewise him, and her. And her, and her, and him. Osama bin Laden lived in a cave fortress in the hills of Afghanistan, but somehow got away. Then he was hiding out in Tora Bora, but somehow got away.
The cutout appearing and then disappearing is too good.
Then he lived in Abbottabad for years, taunting the most comprehensive intelligence dragnet, employing the most sophisticated technology in the history of the world for a decade, releasing video after video with complete impunity and getting younger and younger as he did so.
The beard? How is it black? I don't think he was doing the beard spray. That would have been real early on. He would have been a trendsetter. It's possible, but what are the odds? He's a fashionista when it comes to his beard and is getting beards. I doubt it. I don't think they use too many cosmetics on males in the Middle East.
Before finally being found in a daring SEAL team raid which wasn't recorded on video, in which he didn't resist or use his wife as a human shield, and in which these crack special forces operatives panicked and killed this unarmed man, supposedly the best source of intelligence about those dastardly terrorists on the entire planet. Then they...
Which I heard is... I heard that the story makes no sense. And when you Google the guy's name, the SEAL team operator who supposedly shot bin Laden, put his name in on YouTube and look at what other SEAL guys say about him and how reputable he is. The story makes no sense, supposedly. I'm not an operator, but supposedly.
They dumped his body in the ocean before telling anyone about it. Then a couple dozen of that team's members died in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. This is the story of 9/11, brought to you by the media which told you the hard truths about...
His head could be seen to move violently forward.
And...
They took the babies out of incubators.
And...
Mobile production facilities.
And...
The rescue of Jessica Lynch.
If you have any questions about this story, you are a batshit paranoid tinfoil dog-abusing baby hater and will be reviled by everyone. If you love your country and or freedom, happiness, rainbows, rock and roll, puppy dogs, apple pie, and your grandma, you will never ever express doubts about any part of this story to anyone. Ever. This has been a public service announcement by the Friends of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DIA, SEC, NSM, White House, NIST, and the 9/11 Commission. Because ignorance is strength.
America! That's crazy.